Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To Sir Ibrahim and my friends. Today, our group will be presenting the CSR efforts by Samdabri Berhad. My group members are Nur Anisuraya, Nur Nisa, Nur Farah, Aina Najwa, and I am Sharifa Saranajiha. Brundtland 1987 defined sustainable development as a development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the needs of future generations to meet their own needs. Other than that, sustainable development also involves devising and construct a social and economic system which ensures that these goals are sustained. For example, that real incomes rise, that educational standard increase, that the health of nation improves, that the general quality is advanced. Sustainable development is concerned with the development of a society where the costs of the development are not transferred to future generation, or at least an attempt is made to compensate for such costs. It was defined by Pearce 1993. There are several objectives of sustainable development. Firstly, sustainable development is used to balance the economy, social, and environmental needs for the current and future generations. Sustainable development is also to encourage the countries to conserve the limited natural resources. The Sustainable Development Goals was adopted on 25 September 2015 at the United Nations Sustainable Development Summit as the guidelines for the future for all. They address global issues such as poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, peace and justice. There are 17 goals of it in the SDGs, which all these goals are interconnected. It is important for all countries to achieve these goals by 2030 in order to leave no one behind. The term corporate social responsibility (CSR) refers to corporate activities and policies aimed at affecting the environment positively. The CSR is increasingly rising amongst companies and businesses as their activities have a major effect on our industry. While in Malaysia, CSR is relatively new compared with other developing countries. In recent years, it has become more relevant in Malaysia. The mandatory reporting of CSR by Bursa Malaysia is made available to all listed companies. Disclosure of accounting practices in society and the world will provide improved representations and reputations for the firms and increase opportunities to secure contracts from the government as it is perceived to be socially responsible. It is equally important to the community as CSR is important for a company. Furthermore, CSR activities will help to create a better relationship between workers and businesses. It improves ethics and help both employees and the world around them to feel more linked. One of the companies that has been practiced CSR is Samdabi Berhad.
Assalamualaikum to Sir Ibrahim and my fellow friends. My name is Nur Anisuraya binti Nur Azmi and I will proceed with the background of Samdabi Berhad. Samdabi Berhad is the partner of choice in the industrial and motor industries for some of the world's best brands. This company continued to expand with operation in 18 countries and territories across Asia Pacific, delivering sustainable value through operational excellence, high performance standards, and good corporate governance to the Samdabi stakeholders. The mission of Samdabi Berhad is to develop a winning portfolio of sustainable business, deliver superior financial returns through operational excellence and high performance standards, subscribe to good corporate governance and high ethical values, and also to provide an environment for our people to realize their full potential. Samdabi Berhad was founded on 1910 by William Middleton Syme, Henry D. Estate Darby, and Herbert Milford Darby in Malacca. At that time, this company is known as Syme Darby and Company Ltd and only focusing on the plantation of rubber in Malaysia, as Syme and other entrepreneurs recognized that the environment of the jungle area of Malaysia was close to that of Brazil's. Therefore, in that region, rubber could be grown just as easily and sold not only in Malaysia but throughout Southeast Asia and the globe. Despite the difficulties and hardship that were faced by this company for the past 100 years, this company are able to achieve many achievements. It can be seen from the latest achievement, which is on 2019, Sime Darby Berhad has acquired 3 car dealerships representing the BMW, Mini, Volkswagen, Jaguar and Land Rover marks in Parramatta, Sydney. Other than that, this company also has established a subsidiary company which named as Yayasan Sime Darby. This company acts as a support of the company's belief in economic and personal development. It also carries out the sustainability work of the business.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurul Nisa and I will present about the efforts made by the Sime Darby related to the sustainable development. So one of the efforts made by the Yayasan Sime Darby is regards to the environment. So in attaining the environmental sustainability, Yayasan Sime Darby has an approach towards a balance between the socio-economic and environmental sustainability. Yayasan Sime Darby is committed to the protection and preservation of the environment and the conservation of biodiversity, while at the same time preserve the ecosystem and the coral reef. So Yayasan Sime Darby prioritize the vulnerable and endangered species and to the conservation of the forest reserve. And not only that, but the foundation also support a world-class scientific study with the aim of integrating results into action, yet at the same time developing a high-caliber local researchers. Not only that, but at the same time, Yayasan Sime Darby also support the initiative and campaigns which are made to encourage and empower communities to live in a sustainable environment by adopting a green and sustainable lifestyle practice. There are 3 focus areas in environmental efforts of Sime Darby Foundation, namely the economic conservation, environment education and awareness, and sustainable development and lifestyle. With the aim of investing in a sustainable environment for future generations, the foundation has planted about 1.5 million trees since the year of 2010 and supported 11 endangered, threatened and vulnerable animal species for conservation activities, which among it consist the Malayan tiger, the Bornean orangutan, Malaysian elephants, hornbills and many more. One of the programs that being initiated by the Yayasan Sime Darby is the community-based mangrove conservation and sustainable livelihood program. And the objective for this program is to protect and developing the sustainability of environmental development. The new program of the foundation are based in Kuala Gula, Kerian and Lekir Manjung of Perak, and it started recently in the February 2020, just before the implementation of the Malaysia's Movement Control Order. This program's objective is to conserve the mangrove involving planting and maintenance by the local communities. For the information, about 61% of the 250 km of the coastline in Perak has experienced erosions due to the increasing in the sea levels and linked to the climate change. This situation will continue until the future if there is no immediate action to be taken. Therefore, within this program being initiated by Yayasan Sime Darby, the foundation are in the hope that with the planting and conservation of the mangrove, it will improve the quality of the coastlines through the natural protection, yet at the same time will slow down the coastal erosions. Reportedly, the Yayasan Sime Darby get the fund contribution from Sime Darby for about 20 million ringgit per year, as the foundation has committed 1.2 million ringgit for the conservation of mangrove project for 3 years from February 2020 until January 2023. The Chief Executive Officer of Yayasan Sime Darby stated that through the mangrove conservation project in Perak, the foundation will strengthen the sustainable management of mangroves and coastal resources. This project will also create a positive socio-economic and capacity building impact by engaging the local communities.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nufar binti Muhammad Asnal, and today I'm going to present about community and health. Community can be defined as a group of people with different characteristics connected by social relations, sharing shared views, and engaging in collective action in geographical areas or configuration. Health is a condition of absolute physical, emotional, and social well-being, not simply the lack sickness or disease. Yayasan Samdabi promotes community-based projects and sustainable initiatives to enhance vulnerable people's well-being and take the edge of socio-economic inequalities. Other than that, Yayasan Samdabi promotes the program to facilitate reforms in national policies to uphold fundamental rights and enhance the quality of life of deprived and vulnerable groups. In order to strengthen environmental well-being, Yayasan Samdabi also embraces research and advocacy initiative. There are two focus areas for community and health, which are promoting rights and well-being of the marginalized and improving community health. Under the promoting rights and well-being of the marginalized, Yayasan Samdabi has launched the Huluran Kasih volunteer program. This is the flagship project for the encouragement of volunteerism among Samdabi staff. The budget allocation for this program is 300,000. Other than encouraging the spirit of volunteerism, this program also promotes awareness on the causes that the fund funds. This program encompasses three categories, which are team-based volunteering, skill-based volunteering, and individual volunteering. The other focus area is improving community health. Yayasan Samdabi has joined health together with Malaysian Mental Health Association and Mental Illness Awareness and Support Association has collaborated with Samdabi Properties to launch the Samdabi Property Great Mind campaign. The function of this campaign is to raise awareness about mental health issue. The awareness of the mental health issue is divided into three pillars, which are education, advocacy, and community. The first pillar is education, where they educate mental well-being for the upcoming generation and showing them the safe way to deal with stress. The campaign has been done at SK Wangsa Melawati, SMK Wangsa Melawati, SMK Bukit Jelutong, and SK Taman Bukit Subang. The second pillar is advocacy. It is done with the collaboration of Malaysian Mental Health Association and Mental Illness Awareness and Support Association. The Yayasan Samdabi combated depression and raising mental consciousness among young adults by universities. The campaign was held at Hub Universities, IIUM, Segi College Subang Jaya, and Pago Education Hub. The last pillar is community. It is gathering of public communal events to support mental awareness effort. The campaign took place at Bandar and Steel. The program held was Great Mind Charity Run and Ride. In accordance with World Mental Health Day, the event was arranged in Bandar and Steel, Negeri Sembilan, with the goal of encouraging healthy lifestyle by running and cycling. It was also forum for fundraising, health awareness, and education, and has gathered passionate members from all age class.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aina Najwa binti Muhammad Zamri. So today I would like to continue the presentation about the other efforts doing by Samdabi Berhad that related to sustainable development. So one of the efforts doing by the Samdabi Berhad is Samdabi Berhad has given and showed so much efforts on sustainable development, especially in terms of education. So as is known that education is a mechanism that encourages learning or the development of information, skills, values, belief, and customs. So educational approaches include the instruction, training, storytelling, conversation, and study. As is known that education is very important to all people, so that in order to improve the level of education, Samdabi Berhad has supporting the growth of education by providing many activities and many programs to the community. In this case, Samdabi Berhad have a number of education projects underway that managed by their separate divisions, such as Yayasan Samdabi, where the Yayasan Samdabi provide the scholarship through Yayasan Samdabi Malaysian program. Other than that, we also have Samdabi Industrial Academy, which this division provide the technical and vocational education and training (TVET) in the in the fields of motor bicycle, heavy machinery, service and repair. Other than that, the Sandar Berhad also has provided the tuition program for employees' children in Unicom in Kedah. Okay, so in this case, I took the case of Yayasan Sandarbi by providing the scholarship as an example for efforts of Sandarbi Berhad in improving the level of education, because this is the one of the popular initiative in education made by the division of Sandarbi. Okay, so since the scholarship was started from 1982 until now, 2020, there are total about 4,460 scholarships have been allocated for almost 300 million, involving the students within and outside the Malaysia through the three categories of educational scholarship, namely excellence, skill enhancement and underprivileged. So based on the annual report of Yayasan Sandarbi 2020, the chairman of the Yayasan Sandarbi said that this is the great achievement due to the generosity of these three organizations, namely Sandarbi Berhad, Sandarbi Plantation Berhad and also Sandarbi Property Berhad.
So another effort made by the Yayasan Sandarbi in promoting sustainable development in their corporate social responsibility is through the sports. So the foundation supports development program from the grassroots initiative that promote healthy lifestyle, unity and inclusion among children and the youth. So in order to achieve this end, the Yayasan Sandarbi has provided resources to encourage team sports activities to help young people to realize their full potential, develop sport, develop role models that inspire unity and excel in sports and raise sports standards. So according to the official website of Yayasan Sandarbi, there are 4 focus areas for sport that are being emphasized, which are healthy living through sports, sport development programs from the grassroots, world-class athletes and women and girl development in sports. So under the sports pillar, the foundation has actively contributed to encourage sporting activities to help youth to prosper their full potential, cultivate sportsmanship and raise the sport standards. Within the aim to contributing towards a sporty healthy Malaysia, Yayasan Sandarbi has carried out various projects and programs that engage with development of sustainability. One of the significant projects made by the foundation is known as Sandarbi Foundation Track Cycling Team. So under this project, the Yayasan Sandarbi has focused to provide opportunities to young Malaysian athletes. According to one of the portal, one of the foundation's impactful initiative in funding competition exposure, training and education for Malaysian cyclists, which are Azizul Hasni Awang, who acquired Malaysia's first bronze medal at the Rio Olympics Games 2016. So based on the foundation website, it stated that Yayasan Sandarbi has contributed a fund amounted to 2.85 million ringgit from February 2013 until the August 2016 in supporting the national cyclist, which is the Azizul Hasni Awang, to qualify him for the Rio Olympics. So further explained that in the 2 previous Olympics, the funding support for Azizul Hasni has made it possible for him to be ranked at the 6th in the Kirin Finals in London 2012 and made history by securing Malaysia's first Olympic medal in track cycling after bagging the Rio 2016 bronze. Having the win of Azizul Hasni Awang in Rio Olympic Games 2016 as the notable victory for Sandarbi Foundation Track Cycling Team, Yayasan Sandarbi has now continued their funding for the 3rd round to prepare the national cyclists for Olympic with the young athletes to make Malaysia proud. The foundation has contributed about 2.6 million ringgit for the team to participate in international competition, which later the result will qualify them for Olympic Games in Tokyo 2020. Previously, with the total fund contribution amounted 4.85 million ringgit, Yayasan Sandarbi has supported the Sandarbi Foundation Track Cycling Team to enroll to 2 Olympic Games, namely at the London 2012 Olympic Games and the Rio de Janeiro 2016 Olympic Games.
Next, I will explain about the art and culture, which this art and culture is the one of the efforts doing by the Sandarbi Berhad that related to sustainable development. So in this case, Yayasan Sandarbi, who is the division of the Sandarbi Berhad, has support the growth of a vibrant arts culture in Malaysia society, including the performing arts project and other activities. Yayasan Sam Darbi also sponsoring programs that promote the growth of the art and culture and increase the market for the arts, while providing the industry with educational opportunities to improve the awareness and skill that contribute to the richness of the cultural heritage that is uniquely in Malaysia. So Yayasan Sam Darbi also support the partnership that provide the forums to encourage the local arts and emerging artists to gain local and international recognition. In order to dignify art and culture, Yayasan Sam Darbi has focused on 4 areas for arts and culture, namely sustainability of Malaysian art, culture and heritage, art and culture encouragement, art and development, and art education and empowerment. So, in order to dignify the arts and culture, Yayasan Sam Darbi has announced to sponsor 2-year support from Malaysia's leading performing arts group, namely 5 Art Center. So, this 5 Art Center is a diverse group of Malaysian artists and creators to committed to the generation of alternative form of art and photograph in the landscape of contemporary art. So, in this case, Yayasan Sam Darbi has given 380,000 to 5 Art Center. This 2 years funding will be channeled toward the theatre conference, publication, and musical performance, and also among others. One of the Yayasan Sam Darbi governing council members said that Yayasan Sam Darbi was honored to be in partnership with this 5 Art Center, which is the oldest independent performing art groups in Malaysia.
Next, I will proceed with the challenges of Sam Darbi Berhad in achieving sustainable development. As Sam Darbi Berhad is known as one of the biggest company in the world, many challenges have been faced by this company in the efforts to do sustainable activities. The first challenge faced by Sam Darbi Berhad while doing corporate social responsibility CSR activities is the climate change. The frequency of weather events, decreased supply of potable water, and increasing temperatures. The climate change and the rising global temperatures is caused by the ongoing build-up of greenhouse gases in the atmospheres because of the human activity. The nitrous oxide N2O is known as one of the most potential of the greenhouse gases, as the molecule of the gases in the atmosphere for 114 years if not removed by using chemical actions as stated by United States Environmental Protection Agency. The N2O existed from the widely usage of nitrogen-based fertilizers in the plantation sector. The microbes in the soil are able to stimulate to convert the nitrogen to N2O faster than usual. The more fertilizer used by plantations company, the more the company will contribute to global warming. Therefore, many efforts have been made by the Sam Darbi Berhad. In year 2014, this company has conducted a study looking for sources for greenhouse gases GHG emission in their plantations and the measures need to be taken to reduce it. Dr. Simon Lord, who is the Group Chief of Sustainable Officer at Sam Darbi Berhad, has come up with a strategy called as Smart Decisions Agriculture, which it was focusing on the effort to work out exact quantities of fertilizer to apply to plants. A study on the strategy has been made by the group's research facility and also to cultivate plants that can absorb fertilizer at optimal levels.
The last challenge faced by Sam Darbi in achieving sustainable activities is rising costs for sustainable practices. With an annual production capacity of 2.5 million tonnes of crude palm oil, Sam Darbi is one of the largest palm oil producer, which is contributing about 6% of the world annual CPO output. Sam Darbi Plantation Berhad has felt increasing spending on sustainable practices over the year and is uncertain to change this situation anytime soon. The cost of processing sustainable palm oil per ton of crude palm oil ranges from $4 to $12. The cost stood around $32 per hectare in the group level. Prof. Dr. Simon Lard, Chief Sustainability Officer, is currently working for sustainable oil palm by adding an extra expense to 1 ton of CPO of $8. If the yield is 4 tons per hectare, it will be equivalent to an extra 32 per hectare. The higher the outcome, the cheaper the cost. To ensure that the business strikes a balance between being profitable and efficient, the group controls its operation costs across the continuum. Sam Dabi Plantation control costs throughout the entire business. Efficiency and quality are crucial, but cost control is also essential.
As for the conclusion, corporate social responsibility (CSR) is an activity that ensures responsible and public expectations management of the social, environmental, and economic impacts on its activities. CSR practices have brought many advantages to the company. Sime Darby Berhad has done so many efforts that related to sustainable development. It includes efforts on the environment, community and health, education, sports and arts and culture. Some of the programs that Sime Darby Berhad has conducted under CSR are Huluran Kasih Volunteer Program Help, scholarships for foundations, sponsorship for 5 art centers, and few others. There are 2 challenges that faced by Sime Darby Berhad, which are climate change and rising costs of sustainable practice.